What's up with Dead Rising 3? This is the only Dead Rising game to be exclusive, released as a launch game for the Xbox One in November of 2013. Funded by Microsoft, this game only ever released on Xbox and PC, developed by Capcom, as you'd expect. It released to very good reviews, despite forever being stuck at 30 frames. Okay, Dead Rising steps away from Frank West and Chuck Green and starts with the player character Nick Ramos, just 3 days after the outbreak. He's out looking for supplies, which is where you begin the tutorial. He makes it back to the auto shop where he works, and where you start your journey to find a way out of the city. You find out that there are people getting chipped, and it would give them Zombrex to prevent the infection, but they would just end up turning anyways. You find a radio, and some dude feeds you side quests through it.
So here's the deal. I can't call no one but you.
Oh man.
But, it ain't all bad. I got a bag of chips.
Nick and the crew are sent on a wild goose chase looking for a way to escape the city within the week. Right off the bat, this really is the last great Dead Rising game. 1 was good, 2 was fantastic, and 4 was... Well, anyways, this game is great. It has all the elements that you'd expect, from the goofiness and the weapon crafting to the open world and the psychopaths. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, if that wasn't clear enough already.
We are all going to die! No!
No, Mother, no, don't go out there!
God!
No! Help me! No!
It sets up the world like there's a lot on the line, but then it throws that away pretty quickly and really just wants you to focus on having fun. Unlike most zombie games, they don't really pose much of a threat. You can run through hordes pretty easily. You'll get grabbed once in a while, but they don't do much damage. A returning feature is the counter, which shows how many zombies that you've killed, with different challenges and achievements tied to how many that you've taken down. As you kill enemies, you'll get PP. I don't remember what it stands for. Performance points or pump, I don't know. PP will allow you to level up. It's just experience, basically. Usually boring ways to kill will give you less, like driving a car or a basic weapon. But if you use a crafted weapon or you kill an important enemy, then you'll be showered in PP. But a secret way to get the biggest PP is to like the video if you're enjoying it and to subscribe if you're loving it. It's free. Thank you. The weapon crafting is the most iconic part of Dead Rising by far, which is combining 2 items together to make a strong weapon of some sort. All weapons have a regular and strong attack and have varying levels of durability. These combined weapons usually have a large area of effect, and the durability is much higher than the items alone. A small negative with these combos are that you need to have both of them in your inventory to craft them. So you gotta drop an item, craft, and then pick the item back up. It's a bit annoying, but it's no big deal. A new feature is combo vehicles, which lets you combine 2 different vehicles to take traits from both of them to make some super Frankenstein version. Some sharing traits with combo weapons like higher durability and some sort of X or Y attack. I actually want to speak on the psychopaths. My favorite parts of the games are the psychopaths, which are the bosses. They can either be optional or story path. They have a gimmick as to their origins, which usually ties into their attack patterns and abilities. The arenas usually have a variety of weapons that you can use if yours breaks, and healing items as well. The fights are fun. You can bring in NPCs in to help you, but you can usually just manage by yourself. More often than not, you get the boss's weapon once you defeat them. The psychopaths and the side quests have a timer next to them, which is also a returning feature. It gives you some sense of urgency to complete the mission before they expire. This is the one thing that fans constantly complained about, and then once it left in Dead Rising 4, it added to that game's downfall. I think the reason for these timers is that the series is known for having to survive for a limited time before you get rescued. The first game was in a mall, and you had 72 hours of real-world time before you were going to get picked up. This game has a timer of 7 days, which is followed very loosely. After completing main missions, depending on how long the mission took, is how far you'd advance the week, with most just chipping away a few hours at a time. Honestly, I don't have any serious issues with the game. Capcom said that Dead Rising 3 is tied to the frame rate, so they can't boost it to 60, but it's no big deal. It's kind of like Bloodborne in that way. It wasn't too bad, and I quickly forgot about it. Speaking of which, I would say be careful playing this game on the Xbox Series consoles. It has some issues, with one big one that I'll mention in the should you play section. The frame rate can drop even lower at some points, but like I said, I enjoyed the game. My main negative with the game itself, design-wise, is the roadblocks. Literally. There are some roadblocks that are blocked off for no reason, so you have to take the long way around. It gets more and more apparent the further you get into the game. My guess is that the devs realized how strong the vehicles are,
Damn it! We're blocked! We're gonna have to get through here on foot!
so they blocked off a bunch of roads to try and disincentivize the players from relying on them so much. Wow, listen to all those big words. Okay, should you play Dead Rising 3? Well, it's the perfect game if you want to see zombies faceplant. If you want to see the dead ascend to heaven. If you have bad taste in clothing.
Piece of shit.
And if you just don't want to load into the game. What's up, everyone? Thanks for watching. Dead Rising 3 is great. A couple years ago, I went back and I played them all. The first game aged pretty poorly, but 2 and 3 are genuinely great, and they still hold up. Just be careful playing 3 on modern systems. If you end up checking the game out, or if you played it before, just let me know if you agree with what I said. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe.